boys and girls, that we are live. Yep, I'm checking that out. I'm fixing the chat. We are vertical today, not horizontal. We're wearing new glasses. They're not new, they're just glasses I haven't worn with y'all before. But don't you fret. I have my others. I even have my prescription sunglasses here, just in case. It's Anastasia from the Sacred Spheres. Welcome to another live stream, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 7 p.m. Pacific, and also who knows when we might go live. But today is Monday, which means it's just another Manic Monday. I wish it was Sunday or maybe Saturday when I don't have to run day. It's just another Manic Monday. Yes. Hello, Jim. Hello, Joyce. Hello, my beautiful people. It's just another Manic Monday. We got some fun. Look at these glasses. A former coworker gave these to me. I think they were his wife's, and his wife didn't like it. Didn't like them, rather. Des lunettes. Les lunettes de soleil. They are plural. Sunglasses. Jim is here. Andy is here. Sydney is here en masse. Joyce is here. Everyone's here. Oh my God. Andy gets a number one crown right now. Sydney gets a number two crown. Oh no, Jim is crowned number one. Joyce is crowned number three. I don't even understand how that works, but I'm so glad crowned that you are the cherry on top of my cake tonight. Watch out. It's getting crazy up in here. Making innuendo. I'm wearing my polka dot jacket. Polka dot. I'm wearing my plaid pants. Plaid pants. I do yoga. I can do the splits. What? Kind of, sort of. Oh my God, we have 8 people. What's up? Today's an 8 day in numerology. God, principle, infinity. Bam, bam, bam. My life number. My ex's life number too. What? Uh-oh. No, let's not bring that guy up. Anyway, hi folks. I love you. How are you today? It's just another Manic Monday. I wish it were Saturday, because guess what I did? I did what I was threatening to do. I went live without a plan. I felt like going live. We just surged in viewership. Hey, folks, welcome to our happy hour where even if you're not happy, I'm not happy. We're going to get happy because somewhere, someone in the world is happy, even if it's not you or me. Welcome. I was mentioning that I normally am live Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 7 p.m. Pacific, 10 p.m. Eastern, but I went live on Saturday and surprised the fucking hell out of all y'all. And you know what I even did? Whoa, we just surged again. Hi, folks. Thank you for surging and joining us. We're at the lucky number 22. Anyone who does tarot, that is the High Priestess card. We are in the house. We are sitting in our throne. We are up high. We got the purple hat. We got the glasses. We got the hearts. We got Valerie in the chat. We've got Andy in the chat, Chuck in the chat, Sydney in the chat, Jim in the chat, Joyce in the chat. I already said Andy, or maybe I didn't. I don't know. Welcome. I love you. Good to see you. The people just surge and join us just went out the fucking window. Oh, well, that's okay. I love you anyway. Hey, folks. But yeah, I did go live on Saturday and we discovered something together. I was trying out a very high alcohol, well, not very high, a higher ABV beer, alcohol by volume beer, A, B like boy, V like Victor, ABV. It was called Swami, Namaste beer. And I had left it in my freezer to cool. And then I forgot about it. And then on camera, I pulled it out and it was like a slushie. It was the coolest thing ever. I mean, obviously we know that things are going to, but it was like in between liquid and solid. I poured it into this pint glass and it was amazing. It had this foam for days. I highly recommend it. Guess what I'm doing now? Yep. I am chilling a beer, freezing a beer. I'm trying to, I don't know. I've been freezing it for 30 minutes. I don't know how long it takes. We're going to try this on air live and see what happens 30 minutes from now. Thank you for all the hearts. I am indeed sitting on my throne. Queen Anastasia is here. And oh yeah, I tentatively named this comedy and PTSD. Why? I don't know. Let's get happy. I mean, I have been in a state of trauma since I came screaming into this world, and the only way that I can cope is laughing at myself and everyone and everything, and just laughing my ass off. I think it was Saturday when someone came on and said, "Hey, you look like a witch with that hair." I was like, "Yeah, you have a big nose." I was like, "Better to sniff you out, my rat friend." And you look like a grandma. I'm like, "Well, MILFs are in. Why not grandmas?" I mean, Hey, and which, I mean, shit, if you're cursing me, watch out. I might curse you right back, you little love bug. Thank you for the hearts. Crowns, we got the crowns. We're loving the crowns. We're loving our happy hour. Loving that we're going to do a beer slushy experiment today. We're loving that this is tentatively called comedy and PTSD, and we'll see what the hell that unearths. But for now, we have to start with some type of happy hour beverage. So it's Sandra Oh Merlot from the movie Sideways. Pinot Noir. Cheers. Yes. You know, it's fun. So I am obsessed with looking at the ground and the sky, looking at bugs and stains on the ground and blades of grass. I'm always looking for things to pop out. Maybe I get too invested. Oh, wow, we just surged again in viewership. Hello, beautiful people. You can show yourselves in the chat. You don't have to, though. You can remain a voyeur lurking in the shadows like a creepy motherfucker. I love it. I don't know if you're supposed to curse on here or not. I don't care. I just kind of like live by the seat of my pantalones. Hello. Who can do that? Let's do that together. Stretchy stretch. Anyway, I was walking into the park to do some yin yoga, namaste, and there was this thing. It was like a Jesus action. This this stick was literally lying on the grass with this, like, this was like its pillow. I was like, what the hell does that mean? I don't know. I was trying to do a no phone moment. I was trying just to be in the yoga and then this, I don't know. So I didn't photograph it in the grass how I found it, but you know. Sometimes we are too obsessed, though, with looking at, trying to make sense of things that maybe don't need to be made sense of. You know, we're trying to find signs within signs within signs. Like, oh, what does that mean? It just is. Although sometimes there are folks trying to get our attention from the space betwixt and between. And I definitely, my attention was being gotten today, in part because, congratulations, my sister-in-law just got married today. Well, yesterday. I just saw all the photos today. In Italy, in the south, the boot, the heel of the boot, I should say, of Italy. Hello. Hello, my baby. Hello, my darling. Hello, my right-time gal. Honey, you kissed my wife. I don't know words to songs. I'm very happy for her. I just got an extra like and an extra 10 people left. And sister-in-law is a loose word for what she is to me. We won't say exactly her name or anything. We're going to protect the innocent, but that is a good enough term to describe who she is to me. She is a sister, a chosen sister, and she got married, and I have not seen a lady so golden and imbued with such light and so much love. And it's radiating out now to you and to me, understanding how we might be feeling today. Well, I'm feeling not as frisky as I was on Friday and on Saturday. For anyone who missed out, you are in for a treat. Go back to that live stream on Friday and Saturday. They were insane in the membrane. Because I really was not giving any fucking fucks. Hey, how about this? For anyone who is worried about getting older, are you worried about getting older? Guess what happens as you get older, especially after 40? And I think it only improves with every year thereafter. You get this pocket. It's like right there, just at the ready. Oh, by the way, sorry, my hair is probably hitting the microphone. Sorry, folks. You get this nice big pocket, and it's a pocket for what's called no fucks given. And it only gets fuller and stuffed with more of those, like free passage. You just get a pass around, pass that shit around. One for you, one for you. And it doesn't necessarily mean something cruel. It just means you finally don't care as much. Like, you might be looking at me and say, oh shit, you care too much. What people think of you. Why are you dressed so boldly, so loudly? Actually, this is because I don't give a fuck, because I want to mix things that don't really match, and I want color. I want so much color. Even someone wanted to see my bra the other day. Even my bra is red, okay? And even my pants are red and plaid and polka dot. And we got this, I know Andy liked this the other day. I did that. That actually is a little bit easier to see you with. I mean, I don't do hip hop. I feel like I'm maybe culturally appropriating some shit. Although this helps so that my hair looks decent and the microphone isn't obstructed and getting the clickety clack of raptor claws. And we have to do a do 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 do. There are dinosaurs. They are here no more. For my '90s kids. I love you guys. All right. No, it's not about wait, let's see. It's not about how old you look or don't look. There's just the reality of, I was just hanging out with my friend who's in her 20s and she always thought I was her age. So, hey, thank you for that. I'm not her age. I had another friend who said, if you don't tell people you're 35, then that doesn't make sense. I'm not in my 30s. I am older than that, but it doesn't matter. The thing is, however I look or don't look, I don't give a fuck. It's more about the fact that it didn't matter my age. I felt straitjacketed and in a prison of trauma and post-traumatic stress and chronic post-traumatic stress and disorders upon disorders upon disorders. It's no wonder I was just dating someone with more disorders than me because I felt really wounded. So I attracted someone really wounded and we got really wounded together. Woo! Isn't that fun how the world works? But yeah, the fact of the matter is that there's just something that when you are in truth, you've been on the planet for X amount of decades, 4 decades, 5 decades, 6 decades. You're like, oh, okay. I don't have to fucking care as much anymore. And also, here's the fun fact. You can engage radical honesty. How do you actually feel? Here's a fun story for you guys, right? So I am sweating like a little piglet. I'm loving that. Oink, oink. Ooh! Oh my God. With my big nose again to sniff you out. Do you know that Miss Piggy is literally this megastar? I'm going to pivot for just a second. I was watching some videos about SNL and when the Muppets were on SNL. And Miss Piggy has her own dressing room. She's treated like a diva and a star because she really fucking is. She can hold her own with Joan Rivers. Rest in peace. We love our Joan. Little Miss Piggy is a badass. Oh, you should see, there's this show with her and Martha Stewart where she is roasting, Miss Piggy is roasting Martha Stewart. But yeah, there is a moment like Elton John was on SNL and like went like groveling into Little Miss Piggy's dressing room to be like, oh my God, I gotta get a photo. I mean, she's a megastar. Anyway, so pigs are in, baby. Thin might be in, but fat is where it's at. And actually, that's what I want to talk about. Right. So we're at this point in history where we're all a part of the victim Olympics. Who's got it the worst, right? Who can cry me a river and play me a tiny violin the loudest? We're all fucked to some extent. Some of us come out of the womb maybe with a little more opportunities than others because of how we look or because of certain disabilities we don't have or do have or whatever the fuck is going on. The fact of the matter is we're all fucked to some extent. Some of us, yes, fucked more than others. But, we've been trying to be radically inclusive because for so long, especially if you come from, like, I come from an academic background, right? When you learned English literature, it was very white, it was very male, and it was very, older types of folks, right? It didn't offer you perspectives. Well, that's not totally true, honestly. But anyway, it's generally the old fuddy-duddies with the little patches on their coats. But brilliant folks, brilliant men, extraordinary writers, and we learned. And then the '90s hit, and we entered this era where post-colonial theory was present, and gender and queer theory was suddenly, thanks to Judith Butler, very present. And I came of age academically in that moment. And going into the 2000s and 2010s. And that's when there was this explosion in academia that then trickled down to the masses. Greg Lukianoff, there are a lot of folks who talk about this, if you're not aware, and I'm blanking on the dude who's like at the epicenter of all that. His name will come to me at some point. But they talk about this. And why I'm mentioning this is, we needed, especially for POC, people of color. Andy, you are blowing up my comments there or my phone. Hi. Yeah, people of color, POCs were not included in the canon, and finally started to be folks of different ages with different types of backgrounds, whether it was religious, it wasn't, it was largely Christian, Jewish, male, older, and then it started to, Hindu, Muslim, younger, a little bit more street wise and savvy. I was in an African American Studies department, and spoken word became something we would study. Bell hooks when we were studying, and things were shifting, and it was a beautiful thing. you know, Representation matters. When you don't see yourself represented in the media, really be harmful to your psyche and to who you are if you feel like you don't fundamentally matter and people don't want to see you out in the fucking world. That's goddamn brutal. You know what I mean? It means that you don't feel like it's safe to be who you are in the world. You can't come out of whatever the fuck closet you're in. Whether it's a broom closet, are you a witch? Like my hair is apparently. Hi. Whether it's an LGBTQ plus closet, whatever fucking closet, the eccentric weirdo closet, that was partly mine, where it's like, oh, you, people have sacrificed too much for you. You're not going to be someone who should be in the public in a way that you think is appropriate, because how will you survive? How will you survive in the world? Well, shit, I'm still here. I'm still crazy after all these years. Speaking of which, mental health inclusion, people with different types of neurodivergence or disorders, of which I have some or many, like I mentioned my ex earlier, who shall never be named. So don't you fret if you're watching from the shadows, as I think you might be. We shall not name you. Your stand-in is Keith. That's not your name, but back, Satan, back. Just kidding. Anyway, we are all allowed. However, it kind of has gone a little too extreme. So, like, for example, it makes us almost afraid not to have a disability, not to be someone wounded, not to have too much trauma. Like, we lean into the trauma. Like, how will someone love me if I'm not fucked up? Like, if I'm just a normal person, or just I've gone through my shit. I didn't have too much crazy stuff, but like I'm just trying to like make something happen in life. How am I gonna like get the support I need unless I have a really sad story? Like on American Idol, famously, right? All those people that they try and get you into their character. They always, Key and Peele did a really famous, funny sketch about this. I should say, infamous more so. Joseph. Do you guys remember? My hair's come. Yeah, the way I look is almost not like Joseph, for Christ's sake. But I think he had hat like this. Anyway, not quite purple. Yeah, he was a dancer who couldn't dance at all. But he had a daughter who was blind, and a granddaughter who was blind, and a daughter that he raised himself. And he had this whole sad story. He was born in a coffee can under a bridge or whatever it was. You're going to Hollywood, Joseph. It's if we're just trying to like get out there and do something with our lives, and it's really fucking hard, and it feels like we need to have some huge crutch, otherwise people won't give a fuck. Well, like remember, there's been such a we had a Victoria's Secret model has Down syndrome. We have folks that are plus size more in the media. It's like we finally have this representation, and that's very exciting. How about this though? How about radical acceptance for who you are and where you're at, no matter what that looks like? Because I went through a period where, like, my weight's normally around 150, 160. I normally have good muscle mass, whatever. Definitely some fat and cellulite. You know that. You know how we rock it. Women got that nice belly action, butt thighs, the hips and everything. But I kind of ballooned. It was the pandemic, right? And other things also coincided with that. Other people went back to work. I did not. And I got to about 200 or higher. And it was the hardest, because it was the moment in my life where I was sick of being so traumatized by things that had happened to me in my past. Hiding. I would not show my body. I wore a bathing suit when I was like 16. And then fast forward like 30 years later, I still hadn't worn a bathing suit in public. Because if my body wouldn't look perfect, then why do I want to show my body? Like, even when I had been very severely anorexic bulimic and I got down to 100 pounds, I was a stick, boink. I would wear Dickies down past my knees and a t-shirt, or maybe like a tank top. I would not wear a bathing suit to swim in, because my body was my deal. I had so much anxiety and body dysmorphia. Well, suddenly, fast forward decades, and now I've like ballooned, and we're in this moment of extreme inclusion. Be happy with what you are. Utilize as a resource to get something out of people even in life, and be a huge ally for those people who, use that as like virtue signaling, as a little lapel. I support fill in the blank. You put a black square, whatever the fuck you're putting on your virtue signaling social media platform, or for whatever the issue is of the moment, right? So you're doing all of that, but how the fuck do you actually feel? So I was trying to emerge. I was trying to do something really bold because it was really painful for me to put on a goddamn bathing suit. And I'm like, you know what? I love myself as I am, right? Plus size bodies, yay, fat inclusivity, just calling yourself fat. That's just what I am. And like honoring that, and, photos of yourself with whatever you look like. Okay. But the reality of the matter deeper down was that I actually fucking hated how I looked. Now, granted, I have a lot of issues with what I look like, whether I was 100 pounds or 200 pounds, as a grown-ass adult woman, for so many reasons we don't need to get into at this moment. But fact of the matter was, is I was trying to love my body as it was, and the fact of the matter was, I did not like my body. I did not love my body as it was. And I was trying to be like, I'm okay, I love it, I'm fat, I'm in a bathing suit, no one gives a fuck, I'm the one who gives a fuck. I was paralyzed. I was paralyzed with fear, but I showed up. It was my sister who was actually with me. We're not very close, but once in a blue moon, like every 10 years, we'll do something together. And we went to this little resort. My mom paid for it. It was like a girls' night out. It was very sweet. We just stayed in this little resort by the pool, and I wore a bathing suit, and she held my hand, and it was a beautiful thing. But the fact of the matter was, I couldn't admit that I didn't like that I had to be in love with my fat body. I thought that was bullshit, but I couldn't admit that. It's like, as a woman, I'm not a man, I can't speak as a man, not non-binary, though at one point I thought I was. I've learned I am not. But I do have fluid gender, questioning whatever identities. But Preacher Pavlov is on at her podium right now, and I think she just lost her train of thought, and she was going to get into some really deep terrain. Shit. Oh, fuck me. All right. Well, I was about to go there in some really profound direction. We just added more viewers too. Oh, well. I'll find my train of thoughts shortly. Speaking of trains, I feel like the goddamn comments have been a train going off the tracks. I'm going to come back to whatever my point was. Also, we have a beer that is becoming a slushie. So we definitely want to figure that one out. See if it's ready to go. All right, let's... yeah, we kind of went there. All right, we got people yelling my names in all... my names. I have many names. Name in all caps. Yeah, our viewing numbers change around. And you know what, Andy, the fun thing is about our viewership is that when I'm done and I see how many people showed up, like at one point it might say, oh, 22 people are viewing, 9, 2, 15, a million. Well, not a million, but not yet, at least. But when I look at how many people actually viewed, it'll say something like 300 people came. So yeah, it's wild. All right. Yeah, people are making cockapoo, insider jokes. Oh, Mark Ford. Tom Ford is here. Tom Ford is amazing everything when it comes to fashion. I know your name's not Tom Ford, Mark Ford, but Tom Ford, incidentally, this fragrance king, he wears something like 8 fragrances at once. That's how he creates his own secret aroma. So how about that? We're getting down and dirty here. All right. Andy's a huge flirt with all the goyles. Yeah, don't forget to hit that like, subscribe button. The man and the boat. We need to see the Bill. Speaking of comedy, all things Bill Burr. You know what that means. Please. It's about the clitoris. We need to make sure that we are commenting on Anastasia's videos because that's how she gets more in the algorithm. But also, yeah, know when I go live because I sometimes randomly go live. And I remembered my train of thought. Look at that. I am a boomerang. I always come back like a stand-up comedian. I start here, I go boom, 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 and I end up back with that. sandwich in my pocket, even if the refrigerator is chained. That is from Walk Your Way Out, right? Bill Burr? Any Bill Burr fans? All right, sister-in-law. All right, Frisky. I'm just going through these beautiful comments. All right. Oh my God. I feel like these glasses are badass to the motherfucking badass. They are also hurting my head. So we're gonna just switch. It's time. Oh yeah. Oh, that feels good. I have too big of a head. That's what she said. Oh my God, Yolanda Murillo. What? I am pretty. You're so sweet. Pardon me for getting to the comments a little bit late. I was in a rant and rock and roll. I was rocking and rolling. I look 30. Thank you so much. Maybe I'm 25. Maybe I'm 45. Maybe I'm 55. Maybe I'm 65. Maybe I'm 18. I was going to say 15, but we need to be 15 here. Act whatever age you feel you are. Remember the other day I was like, you're only, I'm so old. There's a guy who's like, I'm so old. And he was 48. I was like, Jesus Christ, dude, you're old if you're like, not even 99, like whatever the hell, like how old is Dick Van Dyke? 90? And the dude can like, dance us all under the table. No, like if you're a walker, you're like, I'm old. It's not just your body. Your body could be going off the deep end, but it's a state of mind, friends. It's a state of mind. And in terms of looking at a certain age, that's just genetic. So, and I've got some Asian in me. Asian don't raisin, I guess. And some of my black friends say I'm part Nubian. I got to research that. I don't know about that, but black don't crack. So word to your mother. Jim has retracted messages. Andy is loving my hair. Yep, I'm loving my hair too. Thank you. My hair once was almost completely gone. Someone destroyed it. I lost 75% of it. I have gobs of it in a bag to do weird black magic art with. So creepy. Someone accused me of being creepy. I think, yeah, art with human hair might be creepy, but honestly, life is too short not to be fucking creepy. Be a witch. Come out of that broom closet. Yes, Paul Simon. I am still crazy after all these years. I'm still alive after all these years. And I love that we just surged. I am still alive after all these years. Are you alive? If you're alive, show yourself in the comments, please. Show yourself in the chat. Or be a voyeur. Be the creep. Be obsessed. I love you. All right. He who shall not be named. That is Lord Voldemort. My hair needs a name. You know how people name their cats? I didn't mean to say cats. This is cat one. Actually, I had a cat named Kitty. We never could name it. No, they're cars is what I meant to say. Or people name their penises. Sorry. Oh, whoops. That might have been, maybe I should have censored that. Bleep. We need to name my hair. What's my hair named? Yes, I don't know if anyone has watched that. We were talking about the Key and Peele sketch. It wasn't American. It was a spoof of So You Think You Can Dance, like how everyone needs a fucking sob story. It's the only reason why people can, unless you're on Shark Tank, But it does help to get extra funding because there is some big epic backstory, that everyone can bawl their goddamn fucking eyes out. Oh, Andy says he would love me no matter how I looked. Why, thank you, Andy. You are very cool and kind and considerate and lovely and amazing. I don't know why cool came out first, but I guess you got to hear that you're cool. Jim is agreeing. We'll say some ditto action. Roller coaster, the man in the boat. Jim is subscribed. Tell your friends. Those are glasses. These are glasses. Actually, why don't we change it up? I often wear these glasses. Don't you fret. I'm gonna back to my train of thought. Choo choo, like the train and the trolley. What is that? It's a philosophical. It's not called a conundrum. It's one of those thought experiments. Anyway, these are actually. Ooh. Oh, this is nice. These are prescription, an old prescription. My new prescription is not bueno for this because it is nearsighted to an extreme. These are gently nearsighted. Dick Van Dyke, I don't think is 99. I think he's 90. I don't know. Who knows how old he is, but he is bitchin'. I'm alive. You're alive. Thank you for commenting that you're alive. The trolley. What the hell? Speaking of which, has anyone seen The Good Place? I know it's now been out for a while. I watched the entirety of The Good Place. I don't even know. 4 times, 5. Got obsessed with that. William Harper, what was his name? The black guy who played a philosopher who spoke French. I speak French. I studied philosophy. I was going to do that too for a living, but I did not. I get to blab at you things that I don't even understand myself. Mostly names I can't remember. But yeah, Kristen Bell's in it. I almost said Dick Van Dyke. No. The very amazing Married to Mary Steenburgen, Jesus F.C. I'm fucking crying. Uh-oh, my brain's doing that thing. I can't remember anything. It'll remember his name too soon. But anyway, that is an amazing series. And it was a comeback for the guy who was in Cheers, who is the lead of The Good Place. But there are a lot of, not, it's, what is it? Philosophical, not quandary, thought experiment. I can't think of the word, but the trolley. I was choo choo. I'm gonna get back on the tracks is what I'm trying to say. All right. Oh, he really is 99. All right. God damn. Look at Dick Van Dyke. Oh, December 13th of this year, he will be 100. He was born in 1925. My grandfather was born in my maternal grandfather was born in 1922, and my I just said that wrong. My maternal grandfather was born in 1922 and maternal grandmother in 1927. How about that? Joyce is boiling 2 eggs. That is so specific. I am going to get back. That is a nice segue. Hello, 8 viewers. Hello, folks who've joined. Let's get into the amazing segue of my preacherly chant and rant and whatever I was saying, and we'll start to remember names too as they come through. I just realized I didn't really eat enough today. Uh-oh. Oh no, the numbers are surging as my brain's going. We're going off the deep end. We're going off the deep end. Oh yeah, so for women, I was mentioning men and non-binary because that's not how I identify. So I'm a cisgendered woman. And as such, and we're watching like, oh, how we need to be so inclusive in society. And yes, we do. We need to be kind. Be kind for I almost said for cunt's sake. Wow, I have a potty mouth. Did you know that cursing just kind of releases anger, helps you feel good? When you cry, it releases stress. Some people have higher IQs who curse. Some people make you feel comfortable when they curse. Research shows. Hashtag, the more you know. But yeah, women. Once suddenly we had more rights, right? You know, women couldn't even get their own bank account without their husband's permission until 74? Shit. Obviously, we got the right to vote in 1920s, right? 1910s. A long time ago, but not that long ago. But here's the thing. So, okay, women, you now have this opportunity to be very strong and independent and blah, 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 blah. But we also have certain roles that we need to fulfill, that we are attuned to, and that we also yearn for. And now it feels a shameful thing. It feels shameful to communicate that we might want to be a trad wife, traditional wife, a housewife, have children. I was so ashamed to admit that I wanted a brood. I literally wanted children and bats and rats and cats and dogs and toads and frogs and llamas and a fucking cowboy and a ranch and the mountains, and I guess I wanted to live in Montana. And I couldn't really admit that until I was maybe 5 years into menopause and all my eggs are shriveled up. Because yes, you can actually be in your 30s and go through menopause, or even 20s. That's a fun fact people don't talk about. Yeah. I mean, it doesn't mean I can't adopt or marry someone who has a bazillion kids and we can all, you know, raise them together. But that's how ashamed I was to admit that. I felt like if I was educated and I had family who fought for me, died for me to be educated, the first in my family, male or female, but especially as a female, the first female on both sides, the first male, female on another side of my family. So to admit as an educated woman for whom people fought and died for to get educated and to have all sorts of opportunities to admit that, yeah, I just want to be a lady who takes care of her household and has children, many of them, many kitty kids. Yeah, again, I couldn't admit it until it's too late. Oops. And also, I am one of those people who needs to be included in inclusive society because I had so many problems and diagnoses and issues, whether it was physical or psycho-emotional, that I was not really a part of society until more recently. I was also practically living in a bunker like Kimmy Schmidt, and an unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt, until I was in my 20s. So anyway, that is why it has taken me this long to realize that I have always had a pocket for no fucks given, but it just came easier to me when it was just like, there was something psychologically where, especially once I crossed the 40 threshold, it's like, doesn't matter what age people think I am. I know I'm this age, and there's just something about that age that's very magical. You feel the temporality of life even more intensely, even though my brother died before me at age 26, and my dad, and he died at 69, and I've watched other people, die, and they were very young, and it was very tragic. But I still maybe wasn't living like life was that temporal. But yeah, once I realized, shit, like, this is what I've got. Let's do this. This is all I've got. And it can be taken away like that, whether it's my health, whether it's my sanity, whether it's my life. But there's just, once you are more middle age, you realize, goddamn, I do have this big pocket, and it's stuffed with these no fucks. So let's fuck them. No fuck, no fuck, no fuck, no. And the biggest thing I ever did was, for fun, join the Dream Tending and Deep Imagination program at Pacifica and have a goddamn blast and let myself start painting thanks to an amazing woman named Victoria. Mwah. Shout out to my Victoria, baby. I love you, baby. And then I just really started how can I give even less fucks? So I'm like, I'm going to make art that has googly eyes. People don't, I guess what I do is more crafts. But long story short, Saturday, we had a goddamn blast. I have to get into my cooler because I've been doing that beer slushy action and see how that's coming along. But I want to let you guys know that because we had such an amazing time, and if you didn't watch it and you weren't live, I know Andy couldn't be there. I'm very sorry. I will let you know when I go live randomly next time. He gave me that permission. I will let you know. But you can always rewatch it. But after that, I felt so invigorated and so alive, and I had so much fun with my beer slushy. This thing that I put my headphones into, I have like 50. These are tea tree oil little pads for my face from Trader Joe's. They have such wasteful packaging there, but I save them to make into art projects. So remember, I don't have 15 kids, but I am the 15 kids that I'm taking care of right now. Amen to that, because it's all about, I think, remembering that we are children ourselves as well, and we got to tend to the inner child that's still within us, that still wants to play and be silly. That kid goes nowhere. Remember, we were born into this fucking body, right? We have this body. We had it from when we were born. We're going to have it till we die. This is the body. It was a body when we were 1, 5, 10, 13, 18, 22. Hut, hut, hike. It's there. It's going to be there. And everything we've experienced is still here. That's why it's so important to move your goddamn body around, be active, so you can get shit moving around, so you can feel alive and feel the parts of yourself that are still there, that still need attention and love, because God knows, who the fuck got enough love ever? Like, even mommies and daddies who try really hard, they're still, or caretakers or whoever is caring for you. There's always some shit that's down. Of course, again, some of us have had it really so shit that we've been obliterated from history. From, like I was saying earlier, the canon of English literature. Like, there literally were, of course, there were plenty of folks who were gay, but they never would. They would never actually celebrate literature and let us read literature that was ostensibly queer. Obviously William Burroughs was ostensibly queer. Langston Hughes was. I actually wrote my thesis on Langston Hughes because it wasn't until the 1980s that they sort of, like, his biographer was like, yeah, actually Langston Hughes was gay. It wasn't just like, I don't know. He was gay. We're going to reclaim him for a new canon of literature. And he's black. And this was the Harlem Renaissance. And he was doing his shit, making extraordinary things. So the filmmaker Isaac Julian, he's a black, gay, British filmmaker. He reclaimed Langston Hughes for the black queer canon of literature, of cinema, of poetry, of African American studies, because there was, and it's less so gratefully, but there was intensive homophobia and all those things I just mentioned. And also that it wasn't appropriate to be studied. I mean, can you imagine? This was literally in the 80s and 90s when it was still inappropriate to study these things in a program that was largely undergraduate, but even graduate programs. But that shifted, started to shift. And so I got to write about Isaac Julian's film, Looking for Langston, which is a gorgeous black and white meditation on Langston Hughes as a queer icon in full display, through his poetry and through the worlds that he was navigating in New York City in the 1920s, before that and after that. So Arnold Ramperson is his biographer. He's still around. Langston Hughes has long passed away, but that is a gorgeous film. It's very hard to find that film. You probably have to find it at an archive, UCLA has an amazing film archive. But anyway, here back to me being whatever the hell I am, and I'm grateful to you guys because after our Sunday live stream, I decided to paint more of these guys because I have like 50 of them to paint. So I just wanted to the grand reveal, my darlings. There's one singular. It's like a three-leaf clover, with one singular eyeball. An art container to put whatever you want in it. This is functional arts, crafts, basically. Oh yeah, I'm gonna put, this is like a dark purple. I'll put a little circular thing, and then if it's for you, oh Chuck, I'll put for Chuck, with love, Anastasia, and I'll sign it, and I'll put a heart, and I'll put the date, and I'll put my other signature and my other signature, and it'll be this whole work of art. Anyway, because art can be whatever the fuck you want it to be. Don't shut me down, YouTube, because I curse. Yeah, and then I did a few more. How many did I do? I did 1, 2, 3, I did 4. So I did 4 while finishing watching Happy Gilmore, which is a hoot. Adam Sandler is also someone who doesn't give a fuck. That dude's like, I want to live a good life. I've made enough money. I'm going to make movies while I go on vacation with my friends. Literally, that's what he does. He goes on vacation with his friends and makes movies. Doesn't give a fuck. This is my question. This is probably the actual title of today. How can you not give a fuck today? How can you be a little bit of a brat in a really cutie pie way? Because I don't feel like you need to be a spoiled little bitch, but I do feel an entitled cunt. I love my language. I feel like, yeah, you could, a lot of us, I think on this channel are very, we people please a little bit too much. So how can we be how can we take our power back a little bit? Because taking your power back actually makes you a lot more desirable. It makes people actually want to be like, what's up? I want some of that action. So what is a way that you cannot give a fuck, take your power back, do something you wouldn't normally do something you think is stupid. Obviously having a baby that's a whole fucking, that's a very big deal. Maybe something not as big as that, but if that's where you're at, where you're like, society says I'm stupid if I'm a woman who has a child, I'm obviously an ignoramus. Well, no, do whatever the hell you want. If you need permission to actually embrace the fact that you want to be a trad wife, baby, go for it. Go strangle a deer with your own hands. Go make that venison jerky for your 5 children. Go pop them out. Enjoy your life, man. Life's too not to. If you've always wanted to live in a cabin in the woods in Scandinavia. I don't know. I'm sure that you could Airbnb some. You could put your stuff in storage and like go there and figure it out. I don't know. I'm sure you're allowed a tourist visa, as an American, if you're an American citizen, or have a American passport. Anyway, I'm getting off the point, but I want to ask you guys, like, what is something that you've been, because we're talking about comedy and trauma. That was kind of like a starting point of sorts, But how can you laugh at some of the things that really torment you? Or conversely, how can you be like, I'm fucking fed up. I don't like this. Because what's funny? Remember saying about my weight? When I finally admitted, like, I don't want to be happy with being fat. I just don't. I know I'm supposed to love my body and be like, yay, I'm plus size. Ooh, let me show my body on a calendar for some shit. No, I didn't want to do that. The moment I actually admitted what I actually thought, guess what started to happen? It was almost like I started to lose weight. It just started happening. And then it snowballed and it got easier and easier. And then it got a little too aggressive and I lost too much weight. So now I'm kind of coming back. I'm coming back to a more normal space. But it all started with admitting what I actually thought, notwithstanding, like everyone's like, oh, don't, do what you want to do. Don't follow society. Burr, burr. Yeah, that sounds like a wonderful platitude. It's just that it's lip service. It's like when you're actually having to do it, It's really fucking hard. It's actually really hard when it's something counter to anything you've ever really believed or loved or felt, because it almost feels disrespectful. Like it was deep. It felt like it was spitting in the grave of everyone who died for me, the people who went through genocide for me to have the education life, for me to be like, I'm not going to go to grad school. I'm going to wear random clothes that make me look like I'm 18 years old when I'm in my 40s. And I'm going to make art with googly eyes. And in this moment, I'm actually between jobs. So that means I'm unemployed, right? And I'm just going to be like, I'm okay with that. I'm loving it and I'm going to thrive. It feels really disrespectful. All of us have to, though, get to where we need to get to when the time is right. I had to go through a whole fucking journey. And I honestly was, my father had me by the balls. Like, I could not really, I respected my father way too much and was too kind of gripped by him and trying to care for him and make sure I respected him even as I was trying to have my own life. And he just had me. He had me. And I really couldn't be this until he was dead. And that was, and I just had to wait. I knew I just had to be patient. It's, your time will come too. It's so hard because we want things so much more quickly because life is so goddamn short. We don't know what the hell's going to happen. So in the meantime, look at this. I did a big one. This is actually a food sourced vitamin B complex that I got from a rep. Ooh, what's that powder? Looks like cacao. It is not cacao. It tastes like dirt. B vitamins are nasty, let alone if they're naturally sourced. I got this check from Earth Bar from our rep. Oh, I think it's when I went to the expo. Or maybe it was actually when I worked for another place I don't want to name that was in the health and wellness industry. But anyway, it holds up my window because my window is very old from the 1920s and it doesn't open and close normally. And in the summertime to keep it open, I have to put a little something or rather to keep it open. And I still have to glue or paint. I use paint as glue. I probably should be using something else. If anyone's an artist on here, what do you use to affix things? Like this is acrylic paint. This is a construction paper. This is plastic. I literally just use white acrylic paint to fix things. Not gesso, like literal paint, like titanium white. Do you use Mod Podge? Do you use matte medium? I used to use matte medium. It's not strong enough. I don't know. What do you guys use? Let me know in the comments. Like, subscribe, hit the man in the boat. How we doing, folks? I have to check on my beer slushie. I've only had 2 sips of this. What is your beverage today? We're only at 48 minutes. How far can we go, folks? We're going to take a walk on the wild side to go check on our beer. It feels very dark with these sunglasses on. Is this too rock star life? Like, what's going on here? Let's see it. Here's I think we're having good slushy action. I highly recommend this. This is my new favorite thing for summertime. If you live below the equator, sorry, it's winter. I'm going to get my Forrest Gump. Remember my former coworker gave me a fun Forrest Gump pint glass. We're going to chill it and put it in the freezer. Are we having fun yet? I am. My cat is. My cat wants to say hi. Do you guys want to see Galaxy? Do you want to see Galaxy, my galactic queen, my warrior priestess, my Xena, my Xenu? Uh-oh. My Scientologist. Oh, she was trying to outrun me, but I got her. I did it. Oh, shit. Hold on. Okay. All right, folks. We're having fun with the beer slushies. Oh, there's my baby. She says hi. She's like, my mama is a lunatic. She was saying thin is in, but fat is where it's at. For me, that's for damn sure. She doesn't know what she weighs, but she is a big lady. She is probably 5 times the size of Sasha. No, is that? Oh, wow. Thank you for the hearts. Actually, Sasha, she's, I think 4 times, if I want to not exaggerate. Oh, there's her nub. She has a peg leg. She is a pirate queen. She says, I love you. And she has the best haunches and belly and primordial pouch. That fat thing, that thing. Oh, wow. I love her. Okay. God, don't call anyone to say I'm too rough on my kitty. All right. How are we doing, folks? I'm about to have a beer slushy. Ooh, we have, in this moment, 7 viewers and 7 likes. That's fun. If you haven't liked, please like us. I like you. I like you. You like me. La 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 la. With the bump bump patty whack, give a dog a bone. This old bitch is coming home. And I've only had 2 sips of wine. Yes, frozen beer. Well, it's a slushy. It's like half frozen. Yes, Galaxy, please. I'm so. And any questions for Galaxy? She understands. Do you understand how much whatever language you speak? I French and English to Galaxy. How much of a brilliant linguist our cats are? They actually know a lot of language. There are fun videos that try that out, and they also have the videos where the cats learn all those little buttons, that they press to get whatever they want. It's very fun. I said slushy, not sushi. God, I am so hungry. I do need to have some sushi. Oh God, sushi's so good. I miss sushi. I've not had it in so long. There's a place, I don't know if it's any good anymore, but when I was younger, my family and I used to love going to this place in Huntington Beach, California. It's on Main Street, right by the ocean, just like a block from the ocean, and it's called Sushi on Fire. It is, and it's because my sister used to have she still has long haired dachshunds, but she had the infamous Norma Jean at the time, Norma Jean Jumping Jelly Bean. She was a long-haired dachshund, and so it allows dogs sushi on fire. They also just have amazing sushi, and yes, they have sashimi, like proper Japanese style sushi. They have Japanese chefs, but more so they have the wonderful fun shit for for the white ladies in the crowd. They have the rolls, the cut rolls that have all the sauces and bee drip stuff. Oh my fucking God, it's so good. Okay, so we chilled our glass a wee bit. This is our Swami Namaste beer, India Pale Ale. It has 6.8 ABV, alcohol by volume. And I am so curious if it is fully frozen. So it's been in the fridge, oh shit, for an hour and 25 minutes or so. And let's see how, oh yeah, slushy action, slushy action, slushy action. Oh yeah, there's slushy action. We are not sponsored by Swami Beer. Oh my God, this is so fun. You have to, if you like beers, this is so fun for summertime. It, honestly, I think I could have, oh no, it's gonna spill. But can you see? Yeah, you can see. Like, look at it. It's all like congealed and slushy action. It was in the fridge longer, honestly, on Saturday. It might need to be in the fridge for like 2 hours. But that might, I don't know. I think I'm saying fridge. I'm so sorry, folks. Freezer. Needs to be in the freezer for maybe 2 hours. It depends, like, because I had it at room temperature, put it in the freezer on Saturday. And I think it was in there for about 2 hours. This was in the fridge at good Lord. It was in the fridge at the fridge's temperature, which is like, I don't know, 35 to 40 degrees Fahrenheit. And then it got put into the freezer for an hour, 20 minutes. Probably needs another 20 minutes, and it would be similar to what it was like on Saturday. But this is still very fun. It's still slushy-like, has a really nice head. That is what she said. Because we're 12-year-old. No, we're not 12 years old on this channel, because that is illegal. We are 18 years old, acting like we're 5 or 12, who have learned about sex for the first time and throw around all sorts of innuendo. All right, well, I went on a fun little rant. Believe it or not, I do try at least to do stand-up. This is not stand-up, obviously. And I have a whole bit about the Suffering Olympics. And it's fun and funny. And I hope that I can do it soon on stage for y'alls, and then have it filmed and then share it with you here on YouTube, which will definitely be something I do. But this was not material per se I was trying out, but it was, just a conversation I wanted to have. And I had no idea what was going to happen today. It was just something came to me. Oh, you know what came to me? Thank you for the viewers that came and also just left. That's what she said. And yes, Norma Jean. That was Marilyn Monroe. My sister wanted to name her dog Laika. not Norma Jean Jumping Jelly Bean. My sister's a photographer. She does a lot of things. My sister's a goddamned badass who's most likely not watching this or will ever watch anything I do like this. That's fine. We're very different cats, and that's fine. But my just shout out to my sister. I'm not going to name her for privacy. She is someone who used to, she's very tattooed. It's got a lot of sleeves going on. She used to run a grindcore record label, a punk rock record label. Before that, a record store. She was a music goddamn savant in that regard, music business savant. She was a photographer still. She used to do the cover art for bands. This is how she could get into shows when she was underage, and rock it like the free world. She would shoot because she would be the photographer. So she would be like 12, 13, and they'd let her into 18 plus shows. So, and she would do cover art for, and the, when people had albums, like vinyl. Well, vinyl's now hipster as fuck, and was at least hipster as fuck. She's a little more normalized now. But yeah, she would do the record, the vinyl record cover. Really cool shit. Very cool. She's an amazing human being, and wanted to name her dog Laika. Her boyfriend at the time said, "Over my goddamn dead body, bitch." No, they definitely broke up at one point. Not that much longer after this, but yeah, Laika was not her name, but he wanted Norma. So my mom suggested Norma Jean because of Marilyn Monroe. So her dog was Norma Laika Jean. And my God, I'm not wearing my bracelet. You guys probably know I wear a rose gold bracelet almost every single day of my life. And that is Norma Jean. Her ashes are in that bracelet. It's a badass, really cool looking, just like my sister, bracelet. But yeah. And if you think I look young, Jesus, she literally looks 18, and she's only 7 years younger than me. Anyway, but yeah, anyway, that's Norma Jean. And yes, Marilyn Monroe, you are correct. So again, cheers. This is so fun. This slushy beer. I highly recommend this for summertime and the Live in ZZ. When I was in Paris, I did a lot of music with Hugh Coltman, an amazing, please look him up. He is such a great musician who has kind of made it now in Europe and France in particular, in the UK. But he's in a blues band, and then he was in his solo project. And I told this story a bit when he toured with Vanessa Paradis. But when we would sing every Sunday and busk and have a good old time. And then I came back here, and I started to do work with this woman who ran a gallery called Bluebird Art House. And she had a beat speak. Someone would like spin beats, but it could just be songs the guy would play. And then you would get on a mic and do anything you wanted. Poetry, you could sing, you could dance, you could like play an instrument, you could whatever. So I would sing. And the first time I did that, I sang a version of Summertime and the Livin' is Easy. I did like what's called freestyling version of it. But singing freestyling. It was so fun. And there's a photograph of me singing that. It was when I first came back from Paris, 2003, 22 years ago. My God. 22 years ago when I was 2 years old. No. Or 3, because I'm 25. No, yeah, so I did sing that song a little bit the other day. Little Ella Fitzgerald version. Not really. You've had a slushy beer, says Joyce. So one of the things I thought about why I wanted to talk about, I don't know, PTSD or trauma and comedy, and just as like some thread that kind of went through this conversation, or just as for me, to boomerang back to where the fuck I am so I don't completely lose my train of thought. Sorry, I'm feeling like these are so dark. I'm going to change. I'm going to change back to these. Sorry. Yeah, this is much better for right now. I was thinking about how, and this is for your entertainment only. Yes, I used to work in health and wellness, but even then I have to follow, structure function law and compliance, but this is for your entertainment. But finally, research is much more amenable to studying this, and people are talking a lot about it, especially in the last 10 years, how when you have extreme trauma and nothing has worked, notwithstanding being inpatient, outpatient, psychiatric meds, tons of therapy, alternative therapies. You work out a shit ton. You do whatever the hell work you're doing. You get hypnotized, like every conceivable. You can change your diet radically. The only thing right now for people with extreme trauma, and you're still straitjacketed, you still can barely function, is something that they explored in the 60s, woo, which is psychedelic assisted therapy. So using LSD, ketamine, psilocybin, etc. And interestingly, the comedian Bill Burr, this is what got me thinking about this topic, not just because of my own anecdotal, solipsistic, narcissistic, am I a narcissist? Perspective was, so I'm a huge Bill Burr fan, and I'm a huge comedy fan. I love so many different comedians. I got to meet Oxo Otsako. Is that how you pronounce her name? She's a female Japanese comedian, amazing. She has a fun look. She takes this and amplifies it by a factor of 1,000,000. She has a new special on Hulu called Father. She's very, very, very fucking cool. I got to meet her. I love all sorts of comedians, not just Bill Burr. We've talked about comedy here before. Ali Wong is pretty dope. I love Tom Segura. Right now I'm rewatching Nate Bargatze's The Tennessee Kid. I love I love clean comedians too. Jim Gaffigan and Tom Papa we've talked about. Anyway, so Bill Burr's famous for being a son of a bitch. He has an anger management issue that he never really wanted to work on, but he did, but he didn't, you know. He's like, hey, Nia, his wife, like, you know, you married a lunatic, like, obviously, you know. I mean, you know, it's also an act. He's a rant comedian, loves to just rant about things. He's naturally very funny. But finally, it was much more recently with his Red Rock special that he admitted publicly that he actually did mushrooms. Magic mushrooms, not medicinal mushrooms, for the first time. And it really forced him, and he allowed himself to sit with his trauma and pain and sadness and grief and all this shit that's made him an angry son of a bitch, that made his dad an angry son of a bitch, and so on and so forth. He's like, I'm trying to get that demon out of my family line. And I got to see him live on his new tour. So I rarely do anything that involves lots of money or any money. I don't go to shows often. Even when I used to do music, I mean, it was hard for me to get out to shows, not as the musician, but like to support other bands and whatever. I've had a lot of issues with scarcity, we'll say, and money. So that's a whole other topic for another time. And why I loved my ex, because he had a lot of issues, but he did have money issues. Dude had a Mercedes he'd paid off himself. That was gorgeous and amazing. But he had other issues. And so I felt lucky with him. Anyway, that's a total tangent. But I'm mentioning this because I went out on a fucking limb. I got an Airbnb in Ojai, and I went to see Bill Burr for my birthday, because it was like a day before my birthday, at the start of his new tour. And I'd already seen his every other special, especially the Red Rock special. And in this, he was trying out new material and talking about how he's actually been facing his shit and trying to be a better person. And it's like, well, is that going to make his comedy, his art, suffer? And this is something, I think this is a very provocative point, and something that's been discussed for eons and eons. When people have certain issues, like, why the hell have I ever shown up like this in the world? Like, this isn't the first time I've looked like this. This has kind of been ongoing. I feel more, I feel more liberated to look like this, but I've always stood out. Why? It's how I got love. It's a trauma response, you know. But if I solve that problem, then how do I look? Like, how do I show up in the world? You know, like the art I do is like in response to trauma. Like, if I fixed, well, there's no fixing. If I just lived with it better, accepted it, loved it, like, would I, like, who the fuck would I be? Likewise, like, Bill Burr is a rant comedian because he's an angry motherfucker. So if he is less angry, if he, so to speak, fixes or just learns to live with it better, is a lot gentler and kinder, is his comedy going to suck? And here's what's interesting is I finally got to watch his Hulu special, thanks to my ex, who gave me his Hulu password and then took it away when we broke up. God damn you. But anyway, so I saw the first show on that tour for my birthday with a friend. Supposed to be my ex, but it was my friend. It's okay. All is well. And I'm safe. Anyway, and then, you know, he worked on his material. He changed it until the very end of the tour. and filmed that. And that special was released on Hulu for Hilarious. Hilarious. And I got to see that. And I watched it like before my ex took away my Hulu access, I think 5, 6 times. And I didn't like it. Oops. Sorry, Bill. I really didn't like it. I mean, it had a couple of moments. It had a couple of things from the first show I saw, but the things I thought were funniest with the first show, he cut out completely. Didn't even address it. He had this whole bit about like drag queen culture and like Yas Queen, Yas Queen. I thought it was actually really fucking funny, and he cut all of that out. But he talked honestly about how big like that guy who's now like, I'm in therapy. I did mushrooms and I'm facing my demons. Like, he's a funny dude, and he's not going to be completely unfunny, but it was interesting to see how it did shift his comedy. And what really turned me on to him is not who he is anymore. And he has a different type of shtick, if you will. And I mean, the good news with any of us is no matter if you're a famous comedian or not, who you are is perfect for each moment. How do I know it's supposed to happen? Well, because it did. That's Brene Brown. But it's really important. I think it's Brene Brown. Anyway, it's really important for you to just know that, yeah, whatever is unfolding is right for that moment. And even if, like, when you are an artist, like, maybe people really respond to your art in a certain moment, and that is completely a trauma response, and you're doing it, like for me, as process art, because you've lost your fucking mind, and you have no way to cope except through doing, like, this, like, stabbing surfaces, creating abstracted flowers because you're in so much grief because of your job and your boyfriend or whatever the hell your life is, whatever is happening. And people love it and respond to it. But then, like, you go through a phase, and now you're doing something different. And maybe a lot of people are like, oh, like, I loved that. I don't like this. Well, even if people don't like this now, this world has, what, 7 billion people in it now? I mean, we're again at 7 views. So many fucking people in it. Like, there's always going to be someone who vibes with what you do. And for you to catch a wave and to be part of a zeitgeist and become insanely pop and famous and one of the goats like a Bill Burr, I mean, that is a rare rarity. That is like a comet that comes by once, every 1,000 years or something. It's a very rare thing. So, and it's, and it's often very short lived too. So it's a kind of, that's a sideshow, freak show type of a thing. But, notwithstanding whether or not you as a creator, an artist or person, if you're super beloved at one moment, and you're like, oh no, if I really like get help and like become this different version of myself, what's going to happen? Yeah, people probably won't be your friend. People who got like, people go, who get sober, right? Like, they used to be the life of the party and get drunk and whatever, or like do drugs, and now they don't. And obviously if they had friends with whom they would do that, they're not going to be their friends anymore. Things have to pivot, things have to shift, and that has to be grieved. And that is hard. But you will make new friends. You will have new fans. And I am ride or die. I'm not leaving your side, Bill. I'm being honest. It's not as funny, but I'm grateful to what you've shared, to you and what you've shared, and that you're, becoming a really good man for your 2 kids and your wife and your family, and therefore to your fans in the world as well. So here is cheers to William Burr, to Bill. Thanks for being a role model in my life, whether you knew it or not. I love it. All right. I am going to go through the chat. We are at almost 70 minutes. Speaking of 777, all sorts of good luck. And to all the lurking creeps in the shadows who weren't in our chat, thank you. Let me go through those people who were in the chat, having a good old time, having a happy hour, having their beverage of choice, whether it's air, water, soda, beer, slushies, wine, cheese. You can drink cheese. Queso is amazing. Okay. Oh God, sushi's so good. God, I want some sushi right now. Who wants? Why is sushi so? Oh, it should be. So it should be expensive because good fish. Yeah, it definitely needs to be expensive. Oh, I miss good sushi. My dad was always willing to spend so much money on food, like going out to eat. Daddy, come take me to sushi. I want to go to Sushi on Fire. They have a roll called pork chop. There's no pork in it. Oh, it's the interior is raw, the top is baked scallops. They have a special sauce. Oh my fucking God, it's so good. I love the pork chop roll. I want 2 pork chop rolls just for me right now. So good. All right. Let us go through the phone. I'm gonna go through my comments, my chat. Your mom was only 18 when you were born, Jim. My mom was married when she was 19, turning 20, but it took her 4 years to have me. She was 24 and she had me. Your mom was born in 1911, Joyce. Damn. My paternal grandfather was born, I think, in 1902, and paternal grandmother shortly thereafter. I'm not sure. Yeah, they're much older than I am. I love this. Oh, yes. Thank you, Andy. Ted Danson. God damn it. Ted Danson is, I love what he's become now in this later part of his career. The Good Place is so good. I might rewatch it again. The black guy that he plays Chidi Anagonye. That's the character. William Harper Jackson. That's his name. I saw him. I was in at the alcove in Los Feliz, and he was walking on the sidewalk with his Asian girlfriend or wife. I don't know, his Asian lady, we'll just say. And I was like, that's cheating! Because there's this scene where he takes off his shirt and becomes like a sex symbol unexpectedly. A thirst trap for women like me. Oh my God. Yes, I was dating a black guy. Sorry. I don't have a fetish for black men. I miss my ex. Even though he was a poo-poo face, I still do love him. But I've dated every conceivable looking type of person. Every height, every race, not literally every, but many and many ages. I've been all over the place. I've dated as young as 18 up to my mom's age, which is 24 years older than me. So, well, technically there was someone who was 44 years older than me who thought we were dating. That's another story for another time. Yeah, I've dated guys as short as 5'2" up to 6'9", because I remember I was a volleyball player. I once dated a collegiate men's volleyball player. And ladies, I've dated non-binary, trans. I am pansexual. I use Pam and I like baking. I'm a baking section. No, okay. I play Pan's pipes. I'm probably Peter Pan. They call that the puer aeternus, the eternal child. That is not a term of endearment, though, in the Jungian community. Oh, Valerie F. was here for a while. I love it. I love that we're talking about ages in the chat. I am many ages. I claim them all. Andy Olmictasia had a farm. E-I-E-I-O. And on that farm there was my 17 children I never had. E-I-E-I-O. With a llama here and a jackass there, a tarantula there, a rat over there, and a bat, and a cat, and a dog, and a rat, and another rat, and another. Well, there are a lot of rats. I have a rat infestation on this farm. E-I-E-I-O. And many more. The dog is barking. It must be good. I feel like I want to sign off by loving on you guys. I love you all. You're so fucking cute. Why are you so cute? Beer, slushy, beer sushi. Ew, beer sushi. I don't want to drink sushi, but I do want to eat sushi. Who wants to take me to sushi with the beer slushy? Jim is saying how, oh, no lasting relationship. I don't know. What even is a relationship, though? When it comes, like, romantic, you know what I mean? There's so many types. There's so many types of relationships. Like, anyway, that's a conversation for another time. Like, if you just like went out on 3 dates, is that a relationship? I mean, it was. You were relating. It was a relationship. They're long-term relationships, short-term. Obviously, there's romantic and so many platonic. We were talking about all the types of love. You know, we need a better lexicon to describe some of these things. We have a huge lexicon, but it's sometimes missing some really crucial things. All right, folks. I wonder who I always was really watching, because there's so many people watch this live stream who don't show themselves in the chat. But all right, Andy wants to call in so you could sing a goodbye song, but there, yeah. Oh, I love you guys. Yeah. Hopefully someday I can get more equipment and make it fancier so you can just come on. I could send you a link and you could just get your ass on here and sing with me. Brian Regan, Christopher Titus. I'm going to write that down. I'm going to research that for you, Andy. I don't want to get, I can always go back through the chat later. Yeah, thank you for your comments. Thank you for being in the chat. Thank you for joining our community. Thank you for being part of our happy hour. Thank you for inquiring and asking Chuck if I was going live. I'm so grateful for everything you shared, for what you retracted, for just being present in the chat. I love you very much. You're amazing. What is something that you could do today that helps you feel like you're giving no fucks? You're a bit of a brat. You're not a cunt. You're not an entitled asshole, but you are just a little bratty doing something you've always wanted to do that maybe is a little naughty. What is it? That's safe. That's okay, you know, for the rest of the world and yourself, whether it's a big thing or small thing. Just, even if you just think about it, consider it. You know, like, even though I highly doubt I'm going to have biological children, I don't think that's possible, you know. You know, there are other ways. Journal about whatever it is. Consider that anything's possible, and why don't you just think about something that you could give two fucks, two shits about what other people think. It's your dream, it's your goal. Like Tom Segura talks about in one of his specials, I think it's called Ball Hog. A woman whose goal, well, we'll talk about someone who wanted a hot dog stand where they shined and boots and sold boots. Let's make it happen. There is someone who wanted to give a blowjob to everybody on the Wu-Tang Clan. It's like, well, let's make it happen. Like, what's your dream? As bizarre as it might sound, like, let it happen. I love it, Jim. I love that you were loving my chat and an all-star in the chat. I'm just going through all of these amazing. You guys really have so many amazing comments. My red bra, yep. Yolanda Murillo. All right. So thank you to everyone who showed up today. Jim and Sydney and Valerie and Chuck and Jim and Andy and Jim and Chuck and Andy and Joyce and Joyce and Jim. Fred. We had a Fred show up. Oh my God. Hi, Fred. I missed Fred. He's going to have to sign back on to find out that he was here. Mark Ford said hi. Thank you guys for welcoming people. I sometimes get into like a rant or a riff or whatever, and I forget to look at the chat, and we had some new people. So thank you to those who show up frequently to welcome other folks, because this is a community. It's not just about me. It's not just about Andy or Jim or it's a Sydney, Chuck, whatever, Joyce. It's about all of us. Shout out to Chuck at Chuck Dransfield on YouTube. Joyce at Mystic Soul Insights. I'm just seeing, I definitely missed a lot of things in the chat. I'm sorry, but also I'm loving you. I'm loving being here, holding space for you as you hold space for me, and like seeing what happens, what comes through. I hope, take what works, leave the rest. I hope there were some fun things that you liked here. Yay! I love that Joyce is talking about her kitty, Maya, and that we were just getting our singing on. I'm sorry to anyone I didn't get to call out who's in the comments and chat. Again, thank you to my friends, family here in the chat who is loving on people. I'm loving y'all. I'm grateful for you. I am going to sing a song that people said when I sang it, they're like, oh shit, you actually do sing, which is weird to me because this is kind of a random blues song by Johnny Lang. And I'm going to sing this because we're kind of like, it's kind of like a We're like at the bar, like it's Cheers, where everybody knows your name. We talk about Ted Danson, and we're having beer slushies, which they don't really sell at bars, but maybe at fancier bars like mixology bars. I don't know. And we got the wine. We got two. I'm double fisting, triple fisting. No. So yeah, this is Johnny Lang was a young dude, like a teenager, and he sounded like a 65-year-old blues man when Lie to Me came out. Amazing album. I highly recommend the album. I used to be a music buyer at a bookstore and kind of an apprentice buyer, really, but I did get to make some decisions. And back when we actually sold music at bookstores, like actual CDs. Well, now we sell like tape cassettes, vinyl. Those are kind of in. Thanks to Guardians of the Galaxy for tape cassettes and all the hipsters like my sister for vinyl. Thank you for making that all come back. I'm very happy. Now for 8 tracks. I used to have a car, not me. My aunt had a car with an 8-track player. How about that for dating myself? All right, folks. So this song, I can't remember the name of it. What is it? I don't know. But it's from Johnny Lang's Lie to Me. All right? We're going to sing this, and then we're going to sign out. All right. Well, I might have this with the microphone. I used to hang out down Jack's pool hall. I go down there, down to nothing at all. I wanted to play some cards. There was a game in the back. I wanted to shot something. I went and got the jack. I had a little money. I was a grade 8 fool. There was a guy out there who used to play a little pool. Rack 'em up. That's the name of the song. Rack 'em up. Rack 'em up. Ooh, rack 'em up. Till the day he was born dead, he said, all day long, rack them up. Yeah. I am still so hoarse. I definitely cracked a couple notes there, and that's okay. Thank you to everyone who showed up. Thank you to people who didn't show up. Thank you to the people I couldn't call out in the chat because I was on my rant about woo-woo, PTSD, comedic, I'm being brave, are you, post-traumatic stress, ketamine talk, whatever was going on today. We're back to 7 likes, 7 viewers. If you haven't liked and subscribed and everything else, please do it. Is this the beer slushy talking? Absolutely no. Yeah, if I am anything in life, I'm a blues singer. I wanted to write a blues opera at one point and be the lead character in my own blues opera. My life is the blues, baby. I'm a Black Russian. Not literally because of black skin. It's a long story. It's because I'm part of a community that's not accepted by white Russian culture, so they call us Black Russians. Like black sheep. Like not literally because you're black. But anyway, I'm from the south of Russia. Well, born here, south of California. Ooh. But anyway, blues is in my veins. It's been a long life. Oh, I love that someone took away a like. Can you put the like back? I said, please like. Don't unlike. God damn it. We were at 7 likes. We went down to 6. Maybe because I was like, hey, please like. And then you took it away. Or maybe because I sang and you're like, fuck you. Well, that sucks. Oh, well, that's okay. All right. Before I get canceled, because I feel I'm always on the verge of getting canceled, and thank you for putting the like back up. Shut off YouTube, because I love to, curse up a storm and say naughty shit, and say I'm 15 years old. I'm like, oh, no. Anyway, I love you guys. Have a beautiful night. Thank you to everyone who showed up, whether I called you out or not. I love you. You are making this happen. You are making these community times worthwhile, this happy hour, very happy even. God damn it, who keeps taking their like away? Who's being a little bitch? Sorry. I think it's my ex. It's a ghost in the machine is what it is. All right. I gotta go. I love you so much. We went the distance. We went an hour and now 25 minutes, well, 24 and a half minutes. I love you. Have a beer slushy. It's a fun new trick. I'm not sponsored by any of this shit. Definitely not by big alcohol or whatever, even though I'm double fisting right now. I love you guys. Obviously, I'm not drunk much. I've just been talking to you guys and loving the experience. I love you. I'll see you Wednesday for Hump Day. I know some of you guys want to see me in my sexy negligee wear for Hump Day. We'll keep it sexy, but appropriate for YouTube. All right. I'll see you then. I love you. You're the best. in the west, in the east, in the north, in the south, in all places of time and space. Please know that you're loved. Thank you for joining us. Life subscribe. Please hit the man on the boat, the little bell, so you know when I go live, because sometimes I actually really do go live on days other than Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 7 p.m. Pacific, 10 p.m. Eastern. I love you. And there's a lag, so you've probably only caught one of every 5 words I said, and that's okay. High five. Number 5 is alive. Yes, that's a reference from Short Circuit. Yes. All right. And a man who was Indian, who was actually white, playing an Indian guy. God damn it. Thanks to inclusivity. Thanks for making our lives better, but don't be part of the suffering Olympics. You got this. How can you give less fucks? What is it that you've always wanted to do? Let's do it now. It's the time. Choose it. Give no fucks. I dare you. Journal about it. Let me know next time what came up. I believe in you. Remember we did that fun little manifestation breath work? It's coming true. I love you. See you soon. See you Wednesday. Bye. It's 86 minutes. An hour and 26 minutes. And I'm less hoarse, thank God.